I dragged you along as normal, and then suddenly you said, "We've got to come back next week, Dad." And I was, what? I was quite surprised. We've now got season tickets.
We've
just renewed. I moved down here about 2015. Previous to that, I had been an Arsenal season ticket holder, 25 games a season for a while at the Emirates. About 2012, I just walked away because I was tired of it as an experience. It costed me too much money, and just fell out of love with that level of football. Came down here, started watching City more or less straight away, having lived here previously in 2000, seen a lot of their games then. And we did a little interview about 4 years ago, which kind of got lost, never seen, where I talked to quite a lot about my experiences at the two levels of football and how I much prefer this level. And that never got seen, that little video, for some reason. Only got seen by people on my Facebook and didn't end up on YouTube. We don't know why. Did another interview a couple of weeks ago where we sort of expanded on it a little bit, revisited my experiences 3 years on after COVID. But unfortunately, the Exeter City microphone wasn't working that day. So no, that one's got lost as well. So we're having another go. And I brought my son, James, who's been following the club for as long as he's lived down here, but with what I would say is an increasing level of support. So when he used to first come, he was quite small, and I used to drag him along because I'm a separated parent, so I had to find things to do with the children kind of thing. And for a while you were a bit like, oh no, we're not going there again, weren't you, when you were very small? So I had to make you come. And I had to make Katie, his sister, come as well. But
that didn't last long.
It didn't last long. She came back 2 games, and she got hit by a shot from Jaden Stockley during a game against Barnet. And if you go on YouTube, it's actually on there. He knocked the whole family flying with a stray shot over the bar. It's still on there, and she's never been back. She considers it a health and safety risk. But James, though,
I cottoned onto it more. It grew on me.
Do you remember the day that you suddenly didn't want to miss a game? I remember it quite well.
It was a Nicky Law penalty.
It was, mate. It was.
I can't remember the exact team we were playing.
Leighton Orient, and it was a last-minute penalty down there. And I dragged you along as normal, and then suddenly you said, "We've got to come back next week, Dad." And I was, what? I was quite surprised. But we've now got season tickets. We've just renewed for next season with the early bird tickets, and we do all the home games. I think you did all of them last season, didn't you? I don't think you missed a single. I missed one, I think. No. I missed 2. And we do aways.
More than you.
Yeah, we do aways, but not. I can't pretend we're the people that go to every single one. I can't afford to pay for his food more than, maybe 5 or 6 a season, something like that, maybe 6 or 7. But we do plan quite far away trips. And I'd like to talk about them a little bit, because that's been our major bonding experience, hasn't it? Some of the trips we've done, the getting up early, the long journeys, the staying over, and just the visiting new places. That's been a real positive part of mine and James's sort of father and son relationship going back the last few years. And I get too old for it soon. He just want to go with his friends on the coach. But for now, we make a plot. We plot these little journeys, and we've got loads of good memories, haven't we?
Oh yeah. And
then the home games is a big social thing for you.
Yeah, do half and half. I spend half of it down the bottom with Dad, and then I come up here for the second half. Well, sometimes vice versa.
But you've all seen the videos of the Big Bank in full action.
Yeah.
And James is right in the middle there. I can't do it because I'm too old. I'm doing it.
I've invited him to come up once or twice, but it never happened.
It's a young man's thing like that. My knees can't take it, so you can only do a few years there. I remember when he was small, you used to go down the front, didn't you? All the young kids, and it's a graduation thing. One day you go to the back, don't you? So I'm ready, Dad. And I said, okay, off you go. I was very proud, and off he went, and scampered up the terrace, and But I know that in the end, it'll be too much for you. You'll be over there.
Give it 20 years.
Yeah, it's probably 10 years. But no, it's a huge social thing for you, because how many people do you know back there?
Oh, everyone.
All the kids, and all his whole football team from the morning. Pretty much all of them go, don't they? So it's a huge thing.
Like a tradition.
Yeah, and supporting a local team like this, it brings things that you won't get with a big club, I don't think. Where you're scattered around the place, you're paying for seats. You'll be sat around surrounded by people you don't know. You can't do much about it. That's what I found at Arsenal, a lot of them ain't even supporters of the club. They're just visiting, for the experience. And you don't have that here. It's a completely different ball game. And I would never go back to the higher divisions. It holds no interest for me. I watch it on telly. You watch it on telly, yeah. But
you don't even. It's sort of coming out of fashion now. Neither me or Dad watch it on TV anymore. It's too corporate. There's too much money involved.
We would consider ourselves, one time, even him, without really going, Arsenal fans. Years ago, my family would think
TV fans.
Yeah, but now we didn't even watch the Man City Arsenal game, which was the title side. I didn't even watch it. I didn't want to because I knew Arsenal. So it held no interest for me. The money side of it is sort of, it's completely turned me off it now. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And I would tell anyone to involve their family in Exeter City and come as often as possible. Get a season ticket. Even with the it's the end of the early bird now, isn't it? Today's the last day. But even if you get a normal one, you're saving 80 quid on a season, aren't you? I think roughly in the big bank. So
worth it.
Yeah, well worth it. Well worth it. And
becomes a routine.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's like a good routine. It's not. Yeah.
And alongside, that family time together, you've been supporting us through a pretty successful period as well. So I guess that's helped, the last few years of
absolutely
a lot of wins at this place. And
yeah, I mean, even last season went well. There was a sad story to the promotion season because I didn't have a season ticket that season. Because I travelled quite a lot in my job at that time, I just chanced it and got tickets on the door for the big bank, sorry. But I still went to almost every game that season except for the Barrow game because I was in Leamington Spa.
Where it all mattered.
Yeah, and I couldn't. He went, and I was texting.
Yeah, you rang me on. I was walking up literally down there, and he was like, "Is there much point in me coming?" And I was like, "It's sold out, mate." And you were just. We weren't very happy.
No, I wasn't very pleased, and I spent the evening watching it on my computer, and missed all the running around the pitch. And he's got some great videos, jumping about with Cameron Dawson, and all that stuff. And I was sat indoors down the road. But I remember we went to Northampton on the Saturday.
That
was a lovely day.
That
was a lovely day because just the atmosphere was so nice. And
party.
Yeah, it's a nice place as well, like Northampton as a ground because it's got all the amenities around it. It's like
everything in one place.
Yeah, it's like in a big bomb crater, and then you've got the McDonald's and the hotel and all that, and you just go around them all, the pub and all that. It's just a lovely atmosphere the whole day, and we've got loads of pictures of that. It's just a fantastic day out, and it has been a successful City period, and it was even successful last season because we thought City might go down.
I didn't.
Well, you think back to the start of the season, we went to Lincoln. We didn't want to miss the first game, so we went to Lincoln. That's quite a nice place, Lincoln, actually, isn't it? I was quite surprised.
Yeah,
seeing how far north it is, I was quite surprised how pleasant it is when you get there. And we, first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I said to you, like...
We played like we...
Yeah, we're no worse than them, are we? You know? And that was borne out through the season. There was good games and there was bad games. There was bad spells and there was good spells. But, overall, very respectable.
You could almost sort of tell halfway through the season that there was no way we were going down. Even when Caldwell came in after Matt Taylor, you could just we'd almost secured ourselves midway through the season as a mid-table side. We didn't particularly any embarrassing results. We certainly gave it our all against much better opponents than you would, But I would say that we're a solid League One side, considering we've just come up.
It kind of feels like you guys sort of build your week around going to the bar, I guess.
100%.
It's important to you in that sense, isn't it? That routine and having something to look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I'd have football in the morning, I'd have a football match, and then after that sometimes we'd have to dash back. We'd be somewhere like half an hour away, and we'd have to dash back, just in time. We'd get home, I'd have like something to eat, and then we'd be straight out. Yeah. Almost wouldn't have time for me to be at home. Yeah. But it's something, you wouldn't miss it. I would hate to miss it.
James is quite a good footballer, actually. He plays for Alphington. They just won the league. I don't know where he got it from because I was terrible at football. A fat goal hanger.
It's not a very prestigious league, I would say.
Well, he's still done well though, and he's good. He's a good little defender. Never know, he might be out on the pitch. No, probably not. But...
Got hope. Yeah.
But no, it is a big social thing. As I said before, all his mates from his morning team all up back here on the afternoon. So it's a huge thing. I wouldn't know. I hate the summer. I just don't know what to do myself. Because you got your work, and then Saturday comes, you've got nothing to particularly look forward to on a Saturday.
I got work.
No,
I got school.
you've got school, so it's even worse. But you're sort of scraping around for something to look forward to do on a Saturday because you're just waiting for the football season to start again, really.
Yeah.
You know?
It hits you when the season ends because you almost depend on it.
Yeah.
Because it's like your Saturday entertainment, which leads on to Sunday. You know, watching all the league highlights on the Sunday morning.
True.
You know, it's part of your life. And then when it ends, you just don't know what to do with yourself.
Very bleak.
Yeah.
I end up watching 2020 cricket and stuff like
fall
that.
in a bed on Saturday morning. It's just not what you want to do, really.
Didn't know you watched that, mate.
I don't.
If you had to narrow it down, what is it you'd say that kind of makes you keep kind of, I know the family side of things, but what is it about the club that's kind of unique and special?
It's a lovely club. It's a lovely place. You're sitting here now. You see the same people. You know, you've got people that you know. One of my favourite things about City is this terrace. I've said it before, because it's such a big thing to have, the biggest standing terrace in football.
It really adds to it.
You know, because if City went another level up, I think they'd make you seat it. I think it used to be the rule anyway, and that'd be a disaster because it's such an advantage to be able to stand. And at the end of the game, I'd stand down there and I just look back at the top of the big bank and everyone jumping and singing and that. And you ain't got that in a lot of grounds. We travel about, and I can't think of many lower league grounds that have got that at all. To be honest, quite often the noisy part of the ground is like a little pet section of seats. Here, there's like a couple of thousand people jumping the whole game. And that's a huge. I mean, other clubs respect that. Other clubs mention it all the time. You know, they come in, they're quite surprised to look across and see this terrace in all its glory, sort of thing. So that's a huge thing for the club. But also, it's just a nice place. It's bang in the middle of the city. You know, there's no rival club in the city either. So everyone's behind Exeter, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And it's just a big community club. It's owned by the fans. They've got a say in the club's running. And it's just a club that looks after everyone. It doesn't take the mickey commercially. You know, one of my reasons I got fed up with high level football, as I said in the first interview that no one's seen. You used to get the beer going up like 60p a year. You know, they're just doing it because they know people are in the ground. They've got to pay for it. They're going to pay for it. You don't do that here. You know, everything's kept reasonable. It's just stuff like food, drink, tickets, cheap and sensible. You know, and it makes you feel like you're part of it. You know, the same thing, not a customer and a business relationship like you've got in the higher leagues. So that's what I would say is the main thing I like about following the lower leagues. I think more and more people are going that way as well. You know, more people I talk to, they go along to like their local team. Maybe it's on a Saturday where their main team's away from home. They go to a couple of games and they suddenly think, wait a minute, this is as good, if not better, than going to like, you know, Man United, whatever. And it's costing me a fifth as much. And I've always said, football's the same. It doesn't matter precisely. It doesn't matter necessarily what sort of ground you're in. The experience is on the pitch. So I think last time I said Exeter Harrogate was one of the best games I've ever seen in a football ground. Oh
I sadly wasn't here.
He said it'd be rubbish. He didn't come.
Well, I didn't say it would be rubbish.
I'll give that one a miss, Dad. I don't think that would be that good. So
I watched it on iFollow. I also happened to turn it off before the last winning goal.
But that was one of the best games I've seen in my life of any level of football. Now, I've seen like hundreds of like Premier League, First Division games. That shows me age, doesn't it? But that, you know, it's what's on the pitch. It's you're engaged with what's going on. You'd be watching a game of football in the park. Could be better than, you know, a Man City game, to be honest. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it. And I think people are starting to realise that. And I wonder whether they're going to be able to sell the Premier League to people much longer, especially if Man City are going to win it every single year.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we didn't even bother watching the Arsenal Man City game, did we? Couldn't be bothered.
I mean, with League One, you didn't expect sort of many of the. It was more. I mean, a lot of people said City, Port Vale would have gone down. They both skipped the drop, and I wouldn't say you could predict who's going to go up next season. You couldn't have a solid sort of guess on who is definitely going to go up because it will chop and change.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, whereas the Premier League, you know, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. Well, maybe not Liverpool, but you know, it's all very predictable.
Yeah,
whereas
she's got the most money in it. Really.
Yeah, you get more out of it at this level, I reckon.
Yeah.
The club kind of feels like it's on an upward trajectory still as well.
100%.
In terms of, you know, how we're performing off the pitch as well. New developments, improvements to the ground and everything. So
Training facilities, yeah.
you must be proud.
Got the scoreboard as well, which I know you're in charge of on a Saturday. Oh, is it you? I thought it was you.
I've had to step in.
Oh, right, because I see your Twitter sometimes. I'm in charge of the scoreboard, and I see, I see you in that. Someone sat in the computer room ready to type the score in. I've always wondered how that worked.
Yeah.
But that must be quite a nice
Yeah,
job.
no, it's on the up, definitely. Every aspect of the, as we were saying before we started filming, the pitch and like quality seems to be improving every season. No offense to the groundsman, but you can notice changes. Obviously, the scoreboard, the improvements of the training facilities, and recently even the Adam Stansfield stand, the improvements and the rebuilding, the roof on the away end, which
that was
never used to be
latest
there.
development, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always on the up and in a good way.
20 years ago, this was completely different. I mean, there was no roof. That was called the cow shed.
Yeah.
And it was literally a cow shed. That was just a little bit of concrete, and we all remember the old main stand, don't we? Which, like it was about to fall down, didn't it, by the end? And look at the place now; it's completely different.
Yeah.
I suppose it's about making sure that the players that are going to leave this season, and it's quite a large number of loan signings have departed, haven't they? It's going to be difficult probably to keep stability, and we'll have to see what the new team looks like, because I think it will look like quite a new team. But that's a very common thing in lower league football, that there's quite a high rotation of players. You do get kind of lucky dip aspect, don't you? When you start a new season, you're quite often a load of people you've never seen before. But that's part of the excitement, actually, because you sort of slowly get to know them, and some of them will be very good and some of them might not be quite so good. But it's part of the charm, I think. You're definitely not watching the same team every season. It's never like that in the lower leagues. It's always a big turnover of players, but that's good because
it can have highs and lows.
Yeah, it'll make it more exciting, though. I think we'll have to see.
We make a good name for ourselves, I think, with loan signings, because you can definitely tell the family atmosphere within the team created by the players and obviously the staff. You get people going back to their parent clubs, obviously having a good loan spell that could. If we went in for someone that has heard a good name about the club, and then they might be more enticed to come here. And from the looks of it on social media and on the pitch, it's definitely a family team as well as the fans. Obviously, it's a very family-based club, and I think it would help players. It's a nice area. Devon's a nice place to live. It's definitely a good place to come down, and it entice players to come here, perhaps more so if, because not every club's as more family orientated as us. They might have a bit of a dispute in the changing rooms every now and then, but
you don't hear people speaking badly of the time at Exeter City, do you? It's quite rare.
No one ever comes away from it saying,
So there's any Premier League footballers that want a loan spell at City next season, highly recommend it. Definitely.
In case you're watching.
Recuperate your career here. You won't regret it. Like Chelsea signing, stuff like that.
Yeah. Finally, I guess for you guys, it's just counting down till the season starts now.
Yeah.
Not bored anymore.
Get through it, really. I'll be following the progress of the pitch with great interest on Twitter. We had a good chat about the pitch before we came up here, and I've learned quite a lot. Thanks for that. And I'll be hoping all the grass is growing ready for that first game. And of course, we get the fixtures quite soon as well, don't we? And the season ticket will pop through the letterbox. But it's all slim pickings, isn't it, until that first game? And we've got a trip to Italy, haven't we, in end of August? So hopefully that won't clash with like a good fixture.
I didn't think of that.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Hopefully there isn't a good away that we could have gone to for that weekend, but we'll be plotting a few other ones in that, before Christmas, definitely, and hopefully see some
big
new
teams
grounds.
come down this season, so I think.
Who's come? Wigan have come down, haven't they?
Reading, that's the main one.
Reading we'll definitely go
Lovely.
to, because I know someone who supports Reading, so we'll definitely go to that. And we'll probably a couple of new ones. It's a shame Sheffield Wednesday came down actually. Because we wanted to go to that.
We never managed to go.
Yeah, we wanted to go to last season, but I couldn't afford it. It's a long way, isn't it? So. But yeah, we'll be planning a few definitely, and long may it continue to.
Yeah.